Hello and welcome to Conversations with. I'm Laura Ratliff, Mrs. Australia International 2020, and I'm a little bit excited today because I have one of the most amazing people who I've met through the pageantry circuit. She is a judge, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a business owner, she has a wonderful story, and might I say that her mother inspired her to start pageants at 7 years of age. So let's have a chat today with the beautiful Sue Turner. Thank you so much.
Hi Laura, how are you? And thank you very much for having me today.
Oh, you're gorgeous. Well, if you're tuning in from around the world, please comment below and say where you're tuning in from. Give us a thumb up or comment below if you'd like to ask us some questions. So Sue, how did you get into the pageant world?
Well, funnily enough, I was only very young. My mother back in the 50s was a beauty queen and she had a crown. And when I was very small, I used to pinch it out of the cabinet and I used to put it on my head. And I used to always think that I want to be a beauty queen too one day. So my mum allowed me when I was 7 to enter my first pageant and I won.
Oh, that's adorable. I love that. And now you're the Mrs. Universe, aren't you, at the moment?
Yes, Mrs. Universe Australia. So I'm competing in 2021. The pageant comp will be in Bulgaria, but at the moment, because of the COVID-19, we may have it here in Australia.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, wherever it is in the world, so I so want to be there for you. So let me know what happens.
Thank you.
With the shining light on. That's amazing. So I know that we're all going through COVID-19 at the moment, and you are a very fit and active person, which I love about you. You take control of your mind and your life and your fitness. So walk us through a little bit on what you do to stay fit in COVID-19.
Okay, now I have 12 dogs.
Wow.
I have French bulldogs and I have 4 very old chihuahuas ranging from 19 all the way down to 15. But with the bulldogs, now that it's cool, we go running and we do a lot of running together. So the bulldogs don't exactly run, but they walk very quick. My fitness regime is usually on a Friday night with my best friend Jen. We basically go from the break wall in Newcastle and we run all the way to Anzac Bridge. Then from Anzac Bridge, we run all the way to Bar Beach. Now that's about 14K.
Wow.
So yeah, and that's what I love doing. So being 58, there you go everyone, I'm 58.
I tell you what, you are amazing. I don't run that far. I've just started running actually. I'm very much a gym person, but I do know that it's amazing to be able to run that far. And do you use any apps to track your steps at all?
We do, iPhone. So what my husband has done is bought an iWatch. And with the iWatch, I have my little earplugs in so that then when we can track them through the iWatch. I also have a sleep setting so that when I go to sleep, I can see how healthy I am during my sleep. So I can watch my blood pressure, I can watch my heart rate, I can see how much sleep that I'm getting. And then that gives me an idea, you know, like how fit I actually I am, because the thing is that when you're sleeping, your body's in resting phase. So once you're in resting phase, you need to be able to calculate to see how well you're actually doing. I actually have an autoimmune problem, sympathetic nerve dystrophy, which is related to MS. And basically my doctors cannot believe like how healthy and how well I actually am. So I can get up in the morning and, you know, sometimes I feel a little bit stiff and I think, yeah, do some yoga. So I do a little bit of yoga and that's how, and like eat properly. You need to eat well, you know, you've got to fuel your body. So if you're going to go exercising and doing all these things, you need to eat well. If you don't, well, I wouldn't, oh God, I'd hope to, you know, think what I would look like. Maybe a stick because I'm only quite thin as it is, but like, you know, you've got to try and keep your muscle tone and keep your health about you.
You are such a busy and inspirational lady. You've got your fingers in a lot of pies here, and it's so important to be able to have that natural energy source and not rely on coffee or Red Bull and so forth. I recently had a thought about this, and your body needs to be not in inflammation, meaning don't have sugar, don't have anything that's going to
Exactly right. No sugar.
Yeah.
No coffee. But the coffee that I drink is called Bullet. Okay, so it's from the health food shop, and it's all organic, and it has collagen in it. It has a lot of really good health benefits in it, and it tastes very similar to coffee. It is amazing. I really love it. So, you know, that's what I have as my beverage, but I drink an awful lot of green tea, an awful lot of green tea.
I love that. I think I do need to probably start drinking that coffee. So if you're listening, put what coffee or what drink, sorry, I should say, you drink in the morning or during the day. Is it water? Is it tea? Is it coffee? I drink a lot of water myself, electrolyte water, but I think I have too much coffee. I have 2 a day. That's probably bad.
I take water. Well, I take water to bed with me over night time, ice water.
Yeah.
And I manage to drink it, you know, if I wake up, I'll have a drink, you know. So you keep yourself hydrated that way too.
I love that you mentioned about sleep as well, because I know that to be able to be ultimately fit, you can't have a high insulin hormone in your body.
Cortisol.
Yeah, exactly. So sleeping will reduce your stress, and then your insulin will go lower. And if you're wanting to lose weight, that can also help you losing weight as well, because stress is connected to weight gain and so forth. And people don't realize, they think, oh, if I just exercise so much that I'll lose all this weight. But at the end of the day, they're just running, you know,
No. I know I've got friends that are exercising a lot and they're not losing the weight. But the thing is that they're not actually understanding that there's a lot to exercise. Yeah. So you've got to maintain your, you know, sustainability to be able to create, you know, what you want in yourself as a look. Yeah. So basically staying healthy. Yeah. So COVID-19's been good for me because I'm getting more exercise in.
Well, that's good. I love the positive mindset. Me too. I've been really focused on getting to my next goal in my fitness and my health, just for my mind, because I know when my fitness and my body is right, my mind is good, and I can function on a higher frequencies. So that's what it's all about for me.
That's correct.
Look, I know you're really busy, Sue, and you have something amazing that I really want to talk about. You have this amazing magazine which features all these beauty queens around the world who are doing wonderful things. It's called Global Elite Queens. Please walk us through how you discovered to put something of such great service out into the world. Walk us through that.
Being a mentor to a lot of other beauty queens around the world, my messenger is literally full up every day of people wanting to know what they need to do to succeed. And basically, I sort of thought to myself, wouldn't it be amazing that if every beauty queen could write a bio, put that bio up so that then the younger generation coming through could actually read what the older generation is doing. And so that basically that will give them the concept as to, oh, now I get it. This is what we do. This is how we achieve. It's all about their platform, their advocacies, and their profile. And a lot of people don't understand that. So being a judge in one of the biggest international pageant systems just recently, one of my questions was, tell me about your advocacy, tell me about your profile, tell me about your platform. They had no idea what I was talking about.
Really?
Yes, yes. And the young guys that were actually competing in the system knew more about what the women did, which is sad to know that the women didn't know more, because I was expecting the women to know a lot more than the guys, but no, the guys blitzed it. It was great. So even though there was a communication barrier too, because this is an overseas pageant, basically it really made me tick a little bit, you know, and I'm thinking, what can I do to help these people out? What can I give to our queens and to our industry to actually help these people understand who we are? Because there's a stigma around beauty pageants and beauty queens. Okay, so I thought that as well, along the lines of being able to, you know, show, you know, our younger generation, or even the generation that don't understand because there's a communication breakdown, that they could read, and just reading and understanding and learning from other beauty queens. It's right there in front of you. You don't have to feel embarrassed anymore and, you know, want to contact another beauty queen and say, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Well, they don't need to do that anymore. They can go onto GEQ, so Global Elite Queens, and they can look for themselves and they can learn from everyone else.
That is perfect. That is such an amazing resource, Sue, because I know myself, I was actually in business for 10 years before I even thought about entering a pageant. And for me, I wanted to enter the pageant world because I wanted the platform to be able to help more children around the world. So I was already getting into charity work and doing that. But what I can see about pageantry for younger women and younger men is it helps them see who they really are and what makes them tick and what they can actually do to be of service to the world, which is really important. So that is amazing that you've created this magazine. Now, where can we find out more about this magazine? Do you have a website?
We have a website that is being actually constructed as we speak. I have a media team, so multimedia team. I'm actually very, very close to Mike Liagan. He's actually Star Central Magazine. So, you know, I'm learning from him. You know, like, I'm not really a journalist. I'm a beauty queen that is trying to help other beauty queens in our system, in our industry. And so what I've decided to do, I'm learning from him, and he's an amazing mentor, and I am following in his footsteps. And you know, so now it's led me to, you know, open up bigger doors, and I can just step through now and be able to, you know, grasp everybody, their attention, and how that they can, you know, get something back from me, you know, through the support that I'm giving them. So, you know, having the website in connection with GEQ, that actually builds a bigger platform, you know, so that then it reaches, you know, way above to our means out into the countries, you know, way and above and beyond. So that will reach, you know, like everywhere, all around the world. That's our intention, because it's not only people who are here in Australia, I mean, beauty queens in Australia, you know, there are beauty queens all around the world. And, you know, some of these beauty queens all around the world may not have the money, you know, to afford to get somebody that can actually help them and train them and teach them. They can actually go onto my website and they can get an idea, you know, on what we do as beauty queens. How do we succeed as a beauty queen? And they can read that for themselves, and they can leave messages, send messages, and I can correspond with them. And we have a team of people with this website. So my website is actually being, you know, constructed overseas, which is in construction with, you know, Star Central Magazine. And because I need that backup, you know, so you might say that they're my sponsors that are helping me, you know, because it's a really big thing. And to sit there and think about it, you go, wow, you know, this could reach above and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Sue, you said, how do we succeed as a beauty queen? And I love that you said that. So let's talk about that. Sue, how do we succeed as a beauty queen?
It takes what, 50 odd years?
I love that, to know who we are, right?
I know. Well, I was, you know, like as a younger girl, I've got to tell you the story on how I actually, you know, started in the modeling industry as well. Because then when my daughter was very small, I sort of pushed her into it because she was having problems with associating with kids at school. She was bullied, you know, and she was bullied to the extent where she wouldn't stay in school. She'd run away from school. She'd come home, had the education department on my back, you know, saying, you know, like, what on earth, you know, you're a mother, you're going to make sure this child goes to school. It doesn't matter whether you dropped her off at the front gate, you know, she'd always walk out the back gate and come back home again. And, you know, and it was just constant bullying one after the other. And even through high school, she copped it really, really bad. So I decided that I would do for her what I did, you know, as a young teenager, to be able to cope with being able to, you know, help myself, you know, be able to project myself as a person, you know, so because some people don't have that confidence, and they've lost their self-confidence. There is no confidence, and they need to build that. And that's how, you know, modeling and pageantry are two separate things, but that's how I built my confidence. And I thought I'd do that to my daughter as well, and I'd help her out. And so how I got in this was, I was a hairdresser, and I actually worked for the Stag in Ballarat, which is very big in Melbourne. So the Stag is huge. It's actually overseas as well. So I was an apprentice. And then I ended up in Collins Street in Melbourne, and I did a very, very quick course, which actually helped me with my hairdressing. So in that fact, we used to do all the big hair shows. They were massive hair shows. And anyways, I was down the bottom getting all these, you know, models ready to go out on stage. And so these were platform models, so that they would actually, you know, do runway. So this is runway. This is not catwalk. This is runway. These are the ones for the fashion designers where, you know, there's a lot of fashion designers that collaborate, and they will get their models to wear their outfits to showcase them out onto a platform. So there, we were down 3 models to run that night, and I'm fairly tall. I'm around about like 5'7.5", but back in my day, 5'7.5" was fairly tall. Once you put a pair of shoes on, you're really tall, you know. So you had to platforms and walk. And my boss at the time, Bernard, because I used to work for Bernard's as well, and Bernard said to me, he goes, "You'll do, get dressed, get out there and follow the girls." And I'm like, "Me?" And he goes, "You." So I had to, you know, put on a really nice, you know, like outfit, put these big shoes. I'd never walked in shoes like that before in my life. And followed the girls out onto the runway. Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
I went dressing and did runway.
That's fantastic. So it's really finding confidence from inside out, because there's nothing more attractive than someone who can exude confidence. And that's where beauty lies. It's not about lipstick. It's not about what size or brand you're wearing. It really, truly is about allowing and opening up your heart and allowing others to see your beauty from inside out. So I love that story. And you helped your daughter find that confidence, and now you're helping ladies around the world through your magazine find that confidence too. And that's what beauty pageants are all about, in my opinion.
That's what we're about.
Yeah.
So it's basically, you know, to, you know, get rid of the stereotype and the stigma on, you know, what, you know, us as beauty queens are, because people always seem to think that, yeah, you have to have, you know, this beautiful face, these beautiful hair, beautiful nails. Don't look at my nails because they're not done. I'm in lockdown. And you know, and we need to project, you know, to people out there that, you know, what we are, we're a beautiful, amazing bunch of people who have gorgeous hearts, and our heart is basically there to help everybody else, you know, who has a problem in the world. You know, so, you know, people will contact you from all around the world, and they'll say, you know, "Can you advise me? You know, can you help me?" You know, and this is what I'm getting all the time. But I don't only get it from our beautiful queens. I get it from people, a lot of men.
Okay.
And yeah, asking me, you know, "Can I please help them?" You know, and I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. So further on down the track, you know, with GEQ, we will have a hard copy of our magazine coming out for Ms. World Australia 2020, New Zealand. Yeah. And they're going to be our first hard copy that will come out in May. But then we would like to sort of project, you know, out towards, you know, like other systems as well. And with that, we would like to sort of bring as many men as we can into this, because it's not about us, it's about them as well. So we've got a lot of amazing young guys out there who do a lot of good for our communities, and they're not recognised.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, that's amazing, the work that you're doing. And for a pageant person, we'll call them, a lady or a man, what kind of things should we look out for the future magazine? What things will we see in there? Articles to help us with preparation and so forth?
Yes. So, you know, basically, if there's any sponsors out there, we need some sponsors to sponsor our magazine as well. Because like, if you're a business, you can actually sponsor a page. And though that money will then go towards producing and promoting more magazines, you know, so that's the way we're going to be working it with sponsors as well. So, because you're most probably thinking, "God, Sue, how can you afford to do this?" But this is how you do, you know, you afford things by, you know, getting help from other people, other businesses and so forth. So, you know, you can put your business, you know, profile in our magazine, and then that will actually project out, you know, further and further around the world too. So you become very well known in the industry. But another thing is that we're going to put, you know, like, you know, a little bit in about what you look forward to with international, you know, like segregations with, you know, competing. So just little tidbits in there for girls to be able to, you know, understand what it's like to be on an international platform. Basically, girls get very confused about what dress am I going to be wearing. Oh my goodness, I'm having a meltdown. I don't know what I'm going to wear to compete. About their shoes, you know, their hair, makeup, everything. So we're hoping to put a lot, you know, of value into the magazine. Also, we wouldn't mind putting something in about, you know, there's a lot around about, you know, rules and ruling, you know, like government bodies. We do not have a governing body. But we can put rules in there to what is expected of each contestant or each delegate, on what is expected from every, you know, sector of every type of pageant that they're going to be competing in, because everyone has a different set of rules to the way that they actually run their system. So we can put, you know, little bits in there to help the girls to look to get guidelines on that too.
I love that, Sue. So basically, from 7 years of age, your mother inspired you to join pageantry. You walk the walk and you become this beautiful flower that's shining your light for ladies and men all around the world to inspire them to become their true self. And now, through the art of your magazine, you're actually connecting pageant people around the world. So it's really a community that you're building, and it's just such a powerful tool. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing what you're doing. So, Sue, what do we see in the next 5 years coming from you?
Well, what I'm building is a family, actually. So
Wonderful.
every person that actually comes on, I tell them, you know, like, welcome to our GQ family, because I want everyone to feel as though that they belong. So in the next 5 years, I'm getting older, but, you know, I hopefully, you know, if I do succeed with Universe, that my platform will, you know, basically be around Universe. So I'll most probably more than likely stick with that. I'm a mentor and I help every other system. Like, oh my goodness, I've got about 10 different systems that I'm actually helping at the moment.
Wow.
So, you know how we have our Zoom meetings, you know,
Yeah.
got quite a few of those going on, you know, so it's really amazing. Hoping to be a mentor towards other young and up and coming, you know, young girls that are coming through our system, that they can rely on me. They can actually, you know, speak to me freely. Don't have to be afraid of me. Please don't be afraid of me. I'm very easy to talk to. And I love helping everybody. If you see something in my magazine, or if you see something on GEQ, you can message me and you can say, hey, Sue, you know, what do I do about this? So in the next 5 years, I'll be building on that. So every day when someone comes to me with something new, I will build on that and I'll put that towards the magazine. I'll put that towards GEQ. I'll put that towards my website so that you guys can have a look, because everyone's input is what this is about. So we can build on it. So everyone has an idea. Ideas are great.
You're amazing. I heard that you were judging. So which pageant will you be judging in the next little bit?
Okay, so I'm hopefully going to Tasmania. So yes, with Jordan King. So he's got the King Talk magazine. So I'm really, and his is also like build it into a pageant. So it's for charity. So it's a community-based charity pageant, you know, where everyone can actually join. So I'll be actually judging that. So we've got the A team, which we call the A team of all the, you know, beauty queens who will be coming along to judge. So we have, you know, like Robbie Canna, we have Annalise, Bella Newton, we have, well, myself, Sue Turner, we have Mary Rose. She's the actual director of our Universe. So she's the director of Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe Classic, Mrs. Universe Grandma, and Supermodel Universe.
Wow.
That's what Mary Rose, yeah. So she's amazing. She's actually one of my mentors, apart from Ferielle.
Okay.
I've got to mention Ferielle. So Ferielle is from, you know, International Australia, to which is where you are. This moment is Mrs. Australia International. And yeah, so she is actually one of my biggest style icons. So I follow on in her footstep with, you know, the style and the imaging that she produces and reflects on us as well.
Sue, thank you for mentioning that. I actually interviewed her yesterday, and she talked about how to dress for success. So if you haven't had a look at that interview, please do have a look, because she also talks about a little bit what we talked about today. The confidence comes from within, and the dress, the makeup, and the hair that you wear all helps you to be that confident person, so you can be of better service to the world. So that's awesome. So I don't know if we mentioned it, but let's do it again. Where is your website? How do we get in contact with you? Is it Facebook, website, Instagram?
The website will be basically projected through a domain. So
Okay.
it's one of the big websites. At the moment, it's being created. So at the moment, you know, like what I will do is that once we get it up and running, I will put it on GEQ. So stay tuned, go to GEQ, have a look at our website once we put it up. So I really cannot give much away at the moment because it's in the middle of being constructed. So,
Okay.
you know, I know it sounds really weird that, oh, you don't know. Yeah, I do, but it's under construction at the moment, and I want it to be a really big surprise. So once I, you know, like get there, I'll release it out on GEQ, on the Facebook GEQ. So if you go to Instagram, we actually tag GEQ. So we do it under the Global Elite Queens, and it's hashtag Global Elite Queens. And there you'll find a lot of our girls that we've actually, you know, submitted and posted up on our GEQ site, which is in Facebook. So you can look up, you know, like GEQ Global Elite Queens Facebook. So for our social media platform. So it's only, like, you know what, it's so funny, it's only new, but like it's basically at the moment reached 48K.
Congratulations.
Yes, our reach is 48K. Yes, and our engagements is something like 40, or was it 46K engagement?
Wow,
No,
congratulations.
it's amazing. Like and every day there are new people who are liking. There are new people who are asking more and more questions. And, you know, like I find myself, like you were talking this morning about, we've got things to do.
Absolutely.
We spend half of our time, you know, like looking to see what's next that we've got to, you know, put up.
Yeah.
What have we got to, you know, submit next? Yeah.
That's fantastic. So Sue, what I'll do is I'll put your Facebook link in the comments below. Do go over, like, comment, follow, ask questions. She's all about pageantry and helping people to shine and be of service to the world. So any last final words of wisdom from Sue Turner today?
Final words of wisdom. Okay. So at the moment, everybody, we're in lockdown. Make the best of it, because you know what? I'm actually enjoying it. I love it. I can get up in the morning. My salon is shut because of the COVID-19. Hairdressers are still allowed to work, but because I'm a home salon, I have no idea why they shut our salons down, but that's just the way it is. But the thing is, you know what? It's given me better insight into what else I can actually do with myself. So now it's me time, look after me and do things for me and do things for you guys with GEQ. So I'm working on that, you know, constantly all the time. And I'm, you know, like everyone, make the most of it. Oh, please, you know, take it as a holiday sort of thing. I know the cash flow. I mean, the government is trying to help us out with our cash flow. I actually don't come under that criteria at all, you know, because my husband works and he's an essential. So essential people can still go to work like him. And, you know, so now he needs to support my needs, but I'm finding that I don't really care about wanting to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I want to stay home.
That's awesome. Stay home, be positive. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sue, for coming on, sharing your knowledge and your inspiration for the world. You are amazing. So that's Laura Ratliff today, Mrs. Australia International 2020. I sparkle for every child, and there are 15 million children in the US in poverty and 730,000 in poverty in Australia. So by supporting the McCabe Foundation, we have opportunities for these children. So hopefully we can change the future. So if you'd like to sparkle for every child with me, I invite you to follow my journey on my website, which is laurajaneratliff.com. And I'll see you on the next show. Thanks so much for coming on today, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.